Hey guys, Savage Red Recovery. Sorry for it running a little long, and sorry for it ended up being me looking down when this popped on. But the reason I'm having this live is because I had some subscribers unsubscribe and call me a closet racist in the comments. And I just wanted to, clear the air. If there's anything that anyone wants to come on here and tell me how I'm wrong or discuss how I'm being devilish or racist or any of these things based on the idea that maybe there's something, maybe someone can give me a point of view that will change my perspective on what happened with Jacob Blake. But I don't think there will be, but I do give out an olive branch to anyone that wants to come on the stream and tell me how I'm wrong and maybe change my mind to see the light or see something differently. But calling me a racist in the comments and telling me you're going to unsubscribe, that stuff doesn't really matter to me. It doesn't bother me. It's not the first time me having this pale face I've been called a racist. So the only way for this to bother me, or any way for this to actually I care, is to have a discussion. Just saying I'm racist in the comments really never bothers me. Like, I don't know this, but I don't know if anyone knows, but most men don't care. Like, if you're a man and someone says something about you, you really don't care, because you don't care what other people think. So I'm going to drop the stream. I'm going to drop the StreamYard link down in the comment section. And as many people that feel that I'm wrong about my views on Jacob Blake, if you haven't seen the video, there's a video that I posted not long ago. You could easily come on this stream and tell me how I'm wrong. And we could figure it out. But I do want everyone to know that this is a live stream, and this will be on this will be on the internet. People are going to see it. If you don't want your face being shown, make sure you don't have your camera on, because I had another person come on and we had a discussion, and after the fact they didn't like it and they striked my channel, and it messed up my live stream and it messed up my account. And I'm not tricking nobody. This is a live stream. If you feel that I'm wrong about the Jacob Blake story, my take on it, then you're more than welcome to come on the stream and we can discuss it. But I feel as being a ex-criminal and having many run-ins with the law, it's going to be hard to get me to agree to the narrative that this was an unjustified shooting. But that's just me. That's just me. Anybody disagree? Anyone want to come on here? Because I'm going to pull some stuff up. Okay, so I'm going to read this comment. Alright, guys. So I just got told that I'm saying it's racist to say he deserved to die. Black people are U.S. citizens and actually built America. They didn't build America, but they have constitutional and human rights like everyone else. There were multiple cops that could have tackled him or subdued him like they're trained to do. He should have been arrested, not murdered. Shooting an unarmed man in front of his kids is not only some pussy shit, it's terrorism. These cops that do these killings have been have always been tied to racist organizations since slavery catchers and casually killing acts. That's why they rarely get charged. So yes, supporting public lynching instead of constitutional human rights would make you a racist. Well, I never supported public lynchings. Oh, hey, Ginger, no problem. Mellow, I do not think it's overkill in any way. It's not overkill. This is real simple. This is real simple. This is how this works. When you have to use deadly force, you have to shoot to kill. The object of deadly force is not about maiming the person and not making them a threat. Because even a person that has no legs can still shoot you. Just because you're unarmed does not mean you're not a threat. Just because you're wounded in the leg or the arm does not mean that you're not a threat. The way that this works is once you have to engage in deadly force, your object is to kill the target. That is your job. That is what cops are supposed to do. Just like if you break in my house, alright, and I shoot you, if I intentionally shoot you in your leg, you can sue me for improper use of a firearm. Because when I pull my gun and I shoot you, it has to be under the idea that I was in fear of my life. So if I shoot you in the knee and I don't shoot you in the chest or in the head, or I don't try to kill you, then I am not using deadly force. So if I'm not going to try to kill you, then I can't say I was scared for my life. And if I'm not trying to kill you, I can't legally pull my gun out. I can't legally shoot you. So that's what people aren't understanding about this whole idea of deadly force. When you use deadly force, you are meant to use deadly force. That's why it's called deadly force. It's not, I'm going to shoot and hope you pray you don't shoot me back. It's not, I'm going to shoot you in the leg and everything will be okay force. It's called deadly force. It's that simple. This is how this works. If I shoot you and you keep moving, I'm going to keep shooting. That's simple. Like, this is how this gets to work. You don't get to break the law. You don't get to break the law and then tell me in which way I need to respond. No man here would let another man walk up on them and punch them in the face. But there doesn't it doesn't matter about the body cam. It doesn't matter because just the clip that they show, they had guns on the man and he was walking away from them. They didn't shoot him. When did they shoot him? They shot him when he opened the car door and started reaching into the car. That's when they shot him. They didn't shoot him when he was on the passenger side. They didn't shoot him when he was walking around the front. As soon as he got to the car, because had he gotten that car, that is a 2,000-pound weapon that easily could have killed somebody. Like, you can get in a car and drive over somebody in a heartbeat. It's not hard. I just did a story about that woman that hit her husband with the car. So we all know that a car can be a deadly object. 2, anytime you get pulled over, what do the cops tell you? Let me see your hands. So why would anyone think that reaching into a car where a cop can't see your hands is a good idea? And the person in the comments tried to tell me, oh, well, they killed him in front of his kids. He didn't care about being in front of his kids because he tried to get in the car where his kids were. Like, you can't say, oh, well, you know, his kids were there. Well, if his kids were there and he was concerned about his kids, then he shouldn't have been acting a fool. Like, the fight that he was allegedly breaking up, no one cared about the kids being there when they were fighting. Well, you don't even have to be on drugs for a taser not to work. The way that a taser works is it has to make a complete circuit. So if you get shot with a taser and only one of the prongs sticks into you, you're not going to get the full effect of the taser. So they could have shot and it not stuck, and he only got part of the blast. Two, some people have a natural resistance to electricity. Like your body is electricity, and there's a natural resistance that people have. I know a guy as an electrician that used to be able, he had such a high resistance to electricity that we would ask him if something was hot, and he would put his bare hand into a panel and touch the bus bar, which is where it's hot. It's all the power, all your power that's in your house is on the bus bar of your panel, and he could put his hand on it and it didn't hurt him. So it doesn't, there are multiple reasons why tasing might not have worked. But this is what you have to understand. Hey, spiritually closed. So this is how this works. They tried to arrest him. He had a warrant. He had an active warrant for domestic violence and sexual assault. All right. So the warrant was for a violent crime, because I don't know if you know this, but when you have a violent crime on your record, or you're wanted for a violent crime, the police treat you in a different way because you're considered to be a danger. All right. So they were going to arrest him because they had the right to arrest him no matter what he was doing, because he had an active warrant for his arrest. He resisted. Clearly, he resisted. They tased him. It didn't stop him. He kept resisting, and then he tried to go to a car. And if you know anything about the dude's background, he is known to carry a gun and pull a gun out on people. So if you're a cop and you're arresting him for this warrant, you're going to know that he has the propensity to pull a gun because he's been charged as a felon with a gun. He's also been charged as concealing a gun while drinking, and also for brandishing a firearm. So if the cops knew who he was, which is probably why they were trying to arrest him, because of the warrant, they would know that he possibly could have a gun and that he was dangerous. So what do you think the cops are going to think when this guy goes to the car and opens the door and reaches in? I'm pretty sure that there's a song by Lil Wayne called Pop My Trunk, where he distinctly refers to keeping the chopper in his trunk. You don't want me to pop my trunk. So why is it that a rapper will make a song called You Don't Want Me to Pop My Trunk because everyone gets running, but then a guy who's resisting arrest goes and reaches into his car and gets shot, and all of a sudden these are some devilish racist cops? Explain that. Explain it. It does, no one, it doesn't make any sense. Anybody? Listen, if you disagree, So Melo, I got a question for you. I got a question for you. Are the cops supposed to be black belts in jiu-jitsu? Like, this is what you don't understand. The cops are paid to do a job. The cops want to do their job and they want to go home. They're already putting themselves at risk by doing this job. Why is it that whenever this happens, people want the cops to go over and above putting themselves in more danger to give a benefit to a criminal? Explain that to me. Why couldn't he just not fight the cops? Like, why is the answer, you know what, the cops need, all three of them should have tackled him. But then someone would have been like, hey, that was three cops. He was one guy. They shouldn't have tackled him. That's police brutality. What's up, Afro Samurai? If three cops would have attacked him, if one cop pulled out a billy club and started hitting him with the billy club before he got to the other side of the car, people would have been like, he's an unarmed black man, you shouldn't hit him with the billy club. If three cops attacked him, it'd be, oh my god, those racist three cops attacked him. It doesn't take three guys to arrest one guy. Like, it doesn't matter. Why can't we just say, don't resist arrest? Like, why can't we do that? Why is it that resisting arrest is okay, and then the cops have to work? Like, the cops need to decide to act with restraint. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if it's me, if I'm the cop, I'm shooting him. As soon as he opened the car door, I'm blasting him. I'm emptying the whole clip. I'm not like I'm gonna literally dump my magazine. I'm dumping the whole magazine. Because I'm not going to make a decision based off of political ideology and based off someone's race. Because that's what you're doing. You're asking the cop to not do what he would do to normal people because the guy's black, to give him the benefit of the doubt. So you want him to be racist. And what happens if, okay, well, he's black, so I can't shoot him. And then the guy pulled out a gun and shot him. Do you think the cop's family is going to feel, well, you know, the guy was black and he was technically unarmed before he shot my dad. So, yes, but the guy was known to carry a gun. And he was known to brandish a gun. And they already wrestled him and tasered him, and he got up. Like, this is the thing. If I'm a cop, it's not my job to be a black belt master. Like, that's not my job. Like, I'm not Superman. I'm not out here saving hoes, okay? Like, that's not my job as a cop. It's not. And if you want me to be Superman, then fucking pay me $250,000 a year to be a cop. If you want me to be able to just whoop everyone's ass without ever using a gun, then pay me a fuck ton of money. And I will be a 6-degree black belt in fucking every martial art there is. But don't pay me $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year and tell me that I should be fucking Chuck Norris. Like, you don't know if someone does steroids. You don't know if someone's on PCP. You don't know if someone's on drugs. You don't know if someone has a gun. Like, listen. Hey, Afro. Would you consider yourself a pussy? Because I would consider myself not to be a pussy. And I'm going to assume that you would not consider yourself to be a pussy. So if you wake up to a guy breaking in your house, are you going to wrestle him or are you going to shoot him? Because, I'm dumping the whole magazine. I'm doing a mag dump. I'm dumping the whole thing. The whole motherfucking thing. And if the dude isn't dead or down, I'm hitting it with another mag and I'm dumping that bitch too. Because I guarantee you, in the same situation where you have to choose between life and death, you're not going to try to wrestle the guy. It's not different circumstances. The guy is known to carry a gun, and they've all been wrestling and tasering this guy. They already did the non-lethals with this man, and this man is wanted for a violent warrant, and he's known to carry a gun. Like, the difference is when you break in my house, I don't know if you have a gun, and I don't know if you're willing to shoot me. But the cops know that this guy's willing to carry a gun because he has a rap sheet of carrying a gun. He also has a rap sheet of being violent. Like, if anything, the cops are more in the right to shoot him than I would be with some dude in my house. There's a 50-50 chance that this dude's just a drug addict. There's a 50-50 chance that this dude's just some pussy that didn't know I was home. But they know for a fact that this guy is violent. Like, I can't run a dude's background when he's in my house. I can only assume that he means me harm. So I'm going to dump my mag. Why are the cops different? They know the dude had a warrant. They were trying to arrest him for the warrant. He has a criminal background of sexual assault, domestic violence, and brandishing guns. So he's willing to beat up on people. He's willing to rape people, and he's willing to resist, and he's willing to carry a gun as a felon. So what part of this dude am I supposed to give him the benefit of the doubt? Because I'm not. I'm dumping the mag. And the cops even showed restraint with this man. They didn't shoot him when he was on the passenger side. They didn't shoot him when they were wrestling him. They didn't shoot him when the taser didn't work. They shot him when he opened up the car door and went to get in it. But I think that more training is I'm not, like, anyone can get more training. Like, I'm not going to. Okay, so sexual assault is a broad term, but it was a domestic violence sexual assault. So are you telling me that he kicked her in the cooch and that was the sexual assault domestic violence? Like, I don't really see a way that you can get sexual assault and domestic violence in the same case and it not be some sort of rapey thing. Like, it probably was more sexual assault because it was his girlfriend or baby mom that he was dating or living with. There was probably some form of correct. It didn't say rape. But he forcibly assaulted someone sexually during a domestic violence. So it's in the ballpark. It's fair. It's fair. But what should the cops done? What should the cops done? Yeah, I hate people. Well, here's the thing. Do you know how you have the chance to clear your name? So this is what it comes down to. If you want to defend or clear your name, You don't fight the fucking cops on the side of the road. You shut your mouth, you get arrested, and you fight in court. It's that simple. You not fighting the cops. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna read this because this dude is a retard, and I'm gonna read these comments. Yeah, completely true. So I'm gonna read these comments and let you guys know like the reason that I made this stream. So a guy says, so everyone has a right to a speedy and fair trial except for black people. So you side with the police that killed unarmed people by saying comply or die. Sounds like you're just another closeted racist. I said, so you're saying that it's racist to say you shouldn't try to get in your car when the cops have a gun on you and you're wanted for a violent warrant. So what is devilish? The fact that they tased him and he was still fighting and then tried getting something from his car. I'm not a closet racist. I'm just not going to lie to myself. You can unsubscribe, doesn't bother me, because at the end of the day, you think what you think is going to keep getting people killed. Me saying comply is racist, but the rights the cop but the cops are not respecting the. I fucked that whole sentence up. But respecting the police isn't racist. It's the right thing to do. So if it's the right thing to do, how many unarmed black men have to be shot? Have been shot complying? A couple. Out of all the news stories we see, 99% of them are not complying. You fight in the courtroom, not on the street with the police. You're not for this channel if you want to overlook bad behavior. My mixed son won't have this problem with the police because he will know to show his hands and comply. He then says, I'm not saying it's racist to say he deserved to die. Black people are citizens of America and actually build America. They have constitutional human rights like everyone else. There were multiple cops that could have tackled him or subdued him like they're trained to do. He should have been arrested, not murdered. Shooting an unarmed man in front of his kids is only some pussy shit and terrorism. These cops that do these killings have always been tied to racist organizations since the Slave Catchers and Casual Killings Act. That's why they rarely get charged. So yes, supporting public lynchings instead of Constitution and human rights make you a racist. I said, I'm live, you can come tell me about it. He said, no need to debate you. You think it's justified. I just proved that it's racist. That's on you. Okay. Okay. You know what? Okay, you're right. You're right. The UK can do it. So let's just, you know what? Do you know what we can do? We can just take guns from cops. This is what we'll do. We'll cut all the cops' pay in half, and we'll take their guns. That's it. We'll solve the problem. You won't have any more unarmed black men fighting the police and get shot. They shot him 6 times in the back because he was reaching into his car, and when you use deadly force. The UK also has a crazy amount of stabbings where they want to ban knives, and they also have a crazy amount of acid attacks where people get chemicals and throw them into each other's faces and maim them for life. But you know, the UK is great. They also have a lot of grape gangs that roll around. They have a lot of grape gangs that roll around, and they also have a lot of terrorism that happens too in the UK. Like they have that too. They also have fucked up teeth. Should we all get some fucked up teeth because the UK is doing so well with the fucked up teeth? Well, I actually work for a living, so I don't need to go to a work camp. And this wouldn't be a podcast. This is actually a YouTube channel. So you're a little bit off. I understand and I appreciate where you were trying to go with your comment, but you slightly missed because this is a podcast. I would be on Spotify, or I wouldn't be on YouTube. Like, this really is just a channel. It's just really a nice YouTube channel where I stare at a camera, which is funny because I can upload this exact video to like Twitter or Facebook. But in order for me to upload this to like any sort of podcasting network, I would actually have to do editing on the video to get it to fit their format. So it was good. It was close. But Drew, you can, if you disagree, you can come on the stream. Anyone that disagrees with this point, you can totally come up here. That's not a problem. Like, the funny thing is, guys that wear overalls and have no shirt on and have YouTube channels like myself, we wouldn't go to a work camp because the people that talk about work camps are a bunch of pussies. And if I have to bet on me versus communist work camps, I'm dumping mags on this work camp. Okay, so now you're going to call me unintelligent when this whole live stream was about people coming in and talking if they disagreed with me. So what you're telling me is you saw the title, you read the title, you came in, you decided to say something, and then when I respond to you, you're trying to tell me that I'm dumb and unintelligent and don't have the ability to run a YouTube channel, not a podcast, because I'm doing what was in the title. It makes a lot of sense, man. You're really shooting from the hip with that one. Why don't you just come on the stream, and if you can talk your shit on camera instead of trying to be a comment warrior and just type and drive by. Just do drive by types. Your podcast ain't shit. You look like you fuck your sister. You wear coveralls because you have a job. Yeah, I know. You probably don't know what a job is, or a working man's job, because I'm a skilled trade, but you probably don't know nothing about that. But it's cool, though. Talk that shit in the comments. Well, that would be... I don't know what he was reaching for, but I'm assuming that he was either reaching for a gun, he was either reaching to put something that he had on, like had drugs or something on him to put in the car, or he was trying to get in the car. Well, just so you know, being bald, I don't know Hitler was bald. Drew, I also don't think that having male baldness run in my family necessarily predisposes me to be a part of the World War II enemy that you fear. I'm sorry that I'm Irish and English and have blue eyes and blonde hair and I'm balding. If you really want to... So I had some people in the comments call me a racist under the video, and I decided to make this live stream for anyone that disagreed with my view, because I was called a closeted racist. Like Drew's pussy ass can come up here into the stream, but he just wants to talk shit with no picture and in the comment section. But yeah, a lot of the people, like, the only comments I got under the video was how I was a racist. So I decided, fuck it, I have some time, why not do a live stream and have these people come on and tell me how I'm wrong? That's it.
Hello? Hello?
What's going on,
Calvin, can
Jordan?
you hear me? Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Hey, what's up, Cal? How you doing?
Not too much. I'm just hosting a YouTube channel, a live stream, not a podcast. Just I want to make that clear. A YouTube channel, a stream about the Jacob Blake shooting, and how I feel that it was a justified shooting. And if there's anyone that disagrees with it being a justified shooting, I would love to hear their point of view.
Yeah. So I don't know. How do you get like a strong view? Because the video, I feel like I got a lot of questions about the video. Kind of like how did they just let him walk into the car like that? There's three cops. Why didn't they take him down? And you said he was reaching for something. But I mean, if you're right there, I feel like you can just shoot him maybe once or twice, and you can just pull him down. I don't know why it has to be shoot to kill.
Because that's the law.
Yeah, I know. I get it's the law, and they're
No,
probably
that,
not
that
gonna arrest you.
no, that's the law.
No, I'm agreeing with you. That's the law, and they're not gonna get arrested. But I'm saying, okay, it's the law because in situations where it's necessary, the police should be protected. But you feel like it was necessary in that situation to kill him?
Yes.
In what way were they in danger?
Are cars used as weapons?
Yeah.
Okay, so if he would have gotten in the car, he would have been in like what, a 2,000, 3,000 pound object.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be dangerous, right?
Yeah.
So they should stop him from getting in the car, right?
They let him walk up to the car.
Because they didn't have a reason to shoot him. That was the restraint. They didn't shoot
Okay.
him when he was walking away. They shot him when he went to get in the car.
No, I'm saying if there were three cops, why would you let him walk up to the car? Why couldn't they grab him and take him down? And then once he
Be-
got into the car and you're trying to sit down, in that position you're in right there, I don't see how he could really do anything. So you can legit grab him and yank him out the car. So I don't see why they
okay,
didn't do that.
okay. So this is how this works. Have you ever carried a gun in your car?
No.
Where do you know where you usually put your gun?
Guns go on the dashboard or the glove department.
They go somewhere near the driver's seat where you can reach from it from the driver's seat. So
Yeah.
him getting into the driver's seat is potentially bad. And the man was wanted for a violent warrant and was known to carry a gun and to brandish a gun. So
Hmm.
it's in the man's background to have a gun. He's wanted on a warrant for domestic violence and sexual assault, which are violent crimes. He had a felony warrant. All right.
Yeah.
What do you think a police encounter is? What do you think deadly force is? Firestarter.
Yeah.
What do you think deadly force is? If someone breaks in your house and you shoot them, you're assuming they're trying to kill you. You're making an assumption. If they have a gun in their hand and you shoot them first, you're assuming. And it's happened with black folks too. There are plenty of black folks that shoot at the cops and they live. Plenty of them.
Hmm.
This is what you have to understand. Had he not gotten the car, he wouldn't have got shot. They had already wrestled
No,
with him. They had already
I'm
wrestled
not.
with him on the other side of the car. They tased him. That didn't work. Oh, that's right. I do owe you a wrench, Trey.
Yeah, I'm not arguing with you on the guy. The guy was just acting stupid. I don't know why he would do that. But do you think shooting was the cops' only option throughout the whole encounter?
At the point where he shot him, yes.
No, I'm saying throughout the whole encounter, like from when the video started. Do you think that was the only option they had?
Yes. Like, they had the option to shoot him when he was on the passenger side. Okay? They didn't. They had restraint. When he went to the front of the car, they had their guns out still. They had their guns out the whole video. They showed restraint and didn't shoot him. People in the video said, just comply. The cops were yelling, just comply. So the people that were watching him, who were recording him, all the people were telling him to comply. So the cops were saying to do it, and the other black people in the neighborhood were saying to just comply. But he didn't. The only person that thought it was a good idea to not comply was the man that got shot. Everyone else thought it was a good idea. They didn't shoot him when he was on the one side. They didn't shoot him in front of the car. They shot him when he opened the door and went into the car. And I'm not even sure if he actually was sitting down. I don't know if he sat down until after he got shot or not.
No, it looked like he was trying to go into the car. That once he got shot, he dropped. That's what it looked like in the video to me.
Yeah, to be honest, it's kind of hard to tell if he was sitting down when they shot him or if he sat down after he got shot. But either way, to me, it doesn't matter. The cops exhausted everything. They gave the dude every opportunity.
Disagree. That's where I kind of disagree because cops. I think cops are trained. Yeah, I've seen a video about it. Cops are trained in kind of takedown techniques. I don't know. They learned like a little bit of jujitsu, but if you had the guy right there, there's 3 cops. Why did they wait so long to walk to? They didn't grab him until he got into the car.
No, he already had it. He already had his shirt. He had his shirt before he got into the car. He was trying to pull him from the car, and the guy still opened up the door.
Yeah, I'm saying at that point, that's when they grabbed him. I'm saying when you were right there at the passenger side, they were keeping their distance. When he was walking around, they were keeping their distance. I'm saying there's 3 cops. Why couldn't they come up and try to grab his arms and take him down?
Well, why didn't any of the people that were recording go tackle him?
They're civilians. They're not cops.
Doesn't matter.
What you mean doesn't matter? They're civilians.
It doesn't matter.
And they're not trained in that situation. And plus, I think that's illegal. Because if they mess up and the guy gets away, I think isn't that a crime? I don't know what the name is, but you're interfering with the encounter.
So, it's only considered to be interfering if you're. It's only interfering if you. Hold on one second, crime. It's only interfering if you're trying to obstruct. Like, if you actually are helping, you're not going to get charged. But the reason I said why didn't any of the people that were telling him to comply go tackle him? You're asking the cops to put themselves they're already in danger doing their job already. Any normal person that's in a life or death situation is not going to give the other person the benefit of the doubt. It's only cops that are supposed to literally damn near get shot before they shoot somebody.
Did he have a gun on him? Wait, is that why they were called? They were called because he had a gun?
No, they were called because there was a fight. But he was being arrested because he broke the fight up. He was arrested because he had an active warrant that was for sexual assault and domestic violence. And the domestic violence was not the first time, so it was amplified to a felony charge. So he had a felony charge of domestic violence and he had sexual assault, which I think sexual assault is a felony. I don't know, never been charged with it. But also on his rap sheet, he was known to carry a gun. He had been arrested multiple times with a gun.
But that's more of a reason for him. Can you hear me? Hey, Savage.
Yeah.
That's more of a reason for them to tackle him to the ground and try to leave, try to get to the car. As soon as he tries to get to the car, all three of those cops should have completely just rushed him.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Why?
Because I'm not tackling him. I'm not like
but that's the force continuum though.
No, but they already exerted that. They already wrestled. They are already fighting him, and they already tased him. They had already done 2 non-lethal forms of force that did not work.
Yes, but the force that the suspect is using on you, it still has to be proportionate to your own force, though.
Yeah, he was getting into a car, which is a weapon.
Well, before he even did that, they should have arrested him. Like 3 cops against one little skinny dude, that shouldn't be difficult at all for me. At least at the very least, get him to the ground. That shouldn't even be hard. That shouldn't be difficult at all.
But they were already wrestling him.
It looked like they had him on the ground and he got up and they started pointing the gun at him and he walked away.
That's what happened. They wrestled him and tased him and he got up again. So no. But listen. You they already did it. Like
but you're took one cop to get his legs though.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They're cops. They're not Superman. Like they already did it. Like they already tackled him. They already tased him. Then the cop grabbed him by his shirt and was trying to keep him from the door. And when the door opened is when he shot the dude. Like
grabbing him by his shirt, that was a mistake. He shouldn't have grabbed him by his shirt.
It was a mistake, but the fact of it is they already tackled him, they already fought him, they already tased him, and then he even tried to grab him and pull him from the car. The dude shot him that was his very last decision.
Also, it's very important to know what exactly he was reaching for. That's why I don't even want to say whether or not it's justified or not. I would love to know what exactly he was reaching for.
But it doesn't matter. But this is the thing. It doesn't matter what he was reaching for. He could have been reaching. He could have been reaching for. He could have been reaching for a dildo. It doesn't matter what he was grabbing. The fact of the matter was.
When it comes to the force continuum, it does matter.
It doesn't. It doesn't matter. No, it only.
Because if he was reaching for the gear shifter, then that would be an unjustified shooting. If he was just
it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be. There were cops there. 1, the car's a weapon. For 1. For 2, you don't know if he has a gun, and you clearly are just fighting with him and tased him, and he's not listening, and he's known to carry a gun. It's any cop's assumption that if you have a record of carrying a gun and a record of being violent, and you're wanted for a violent warrant, why would the cop assume that you're going to get your gummy bears?
Well, the cop shouldn't assume that.
But that's why they shot him when he got in the car.
It's still 3-1 though.
But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if that was 3-1. It doesn't.
But how does it not matter when the use of force is disproportionate to his force?
Look at Rayshard. There was 2 cops, and Rayshard was drunk, and he beat the fuck out of both those cops. Just because you have 3 cops doesn't mean that you're fucking gonna beat one guy up. But
they should be able to do that. They should be able to do that.
Yes, but again, if you're gonna use that standard, then there shouldn't be women cops in the force. But there is.
So you mean to tell me you can't get 2 cops grabbing his legs and 1 cop handcuffing him? You don't think that was possible? Because with the use of force continuum, they have levels of the use of force continuum. And to me, it didn't look like those cops went at every level, and they never even hit him. They could have used the baton. As soon as he tried to get to that car, they could have grabbed his neck. They didn't even use any force on him. Like while he was going to the car, no force was used, except when he grabbed his shirt.
Yeah, the force was used on the other side of the car. There was, if you can tell, when he got up, the cops backed up from him. Like they backed up. So, and he also had something in his hand. So, I don't know if they thought it was a knife, a weapon. I don't know what they thought it was. But you can tell by watching the video, they moved away. Like there was something that they perceived that they moved away and was keeping their distance.
If they thought that he had a weapon and they was gonna go after him while he was trying to flee, then they should have at least punched him. He didn't get punched. He didn't get hit with a baton or nothing.
Yeah, but you know damn well when it comes to guns, when someone has a gun, you close the distance. The easiest way to survive is to close the distance with the gun. With a knife, you have to back away. If he had a knife, you don't get closer to someone with a knife. You only get closer to someone with a gun because when you're closer to a gun, you're more likely to survive the shooting if you don't get shot in the head because it will go clean through. And you have the ability to get control of the gun and be able to control where the bullets go. You can't, like, those cops, they gave him every option.
They didn't give him every option while he was approaching the vehicle. Like while he was approaching the vehicle, now you know he's trying to flee. They didn't make every
you don't know that?
to keep him from the car.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
So there's 3 cops there. They're attempting to arrest him. He's attempting to flee the scene, which is what you have to assume when he's going to his vehicle. You have to assume he's attempting to flee the scene.
Yeah, he could
you
also
have to at least assume that.
Yeah, but how is he going to flee? Because he could have went to the car to get a gun to shoot the cops to flee.
That's why they should have made every attempt to not allow him into the vehicle in the first place.
Like maybe the dude's strong. Like maybe the dude can fight. Like clearly they fought him and he got up. Like
hold on, Kyle. I'm looking at the video right now. They weren't holding him down. They were standing up and they were away from him. And I don't know if he was in the car and he got out or he was on the ground and he just stood up. But they weren't holding him down.
You're telling me that when have you read the articles? Because the articles said that they wrestled him and tased him. That's from eyewitness statements.
No, I'm saying you're saying he's strong because they put him to the ground and he got up. But I'm saying they weren't holding him down.
But he's strong for whatever sense because they didn't get handcuffs on him. They didn't get control of him. Like you're not going to tell. Like my girlfriend's not going to tell me that I'm not strong, and then I'm able to shove her to the ground and get handcuffs on her, and she can't do nothing about it.
What I'm saying is they put him to the ground and they pointed the guns at him. They didn't keep him and try to get control, and he just ignored the guns and started walking. I'm saying they never tried to. It didn't look like they tried to subdue him.
But what about OC spray? They didn't use OC spray either.
OC spray?
OC spray like mace, pepper spray.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm not sure if they actually use it, but if they had it on, he probably wouldn't even have been able to see his vehicle if he had that spray.
Yes, I'm trying to read the article right now.
Hey, I gotta go back to work. I'll catch you up later.
All right.
I'm gonna play the video. So here's one of the videos.
Wow.
Yeah, you see what I mean? They weren't holding him down.
Okay, so fun thing. So fun fact. So you guys said there was 3 cops, right?
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, there's 3 cops. Okay. Tell me what this cop is right here.
What you mean what he is? Like
Tell me what
race?
No, tell me what type of cop's this right here. The one with the ponytail on top of its head.
I don't know.
It's a woman. It's a woman cop. Now watch as this happens. He walks this way, the 2 male cops walk up on him. What's the female cop do? Backs up, backs up, backs up, backs up, backs up, backs up. I'll play it again. There's 3 cops. 3 cops. The female cop walks away. The male cops follow. So how many cops were there?
There were 3. I mean, she backed up after he started walking, but she was there when he was on the ground.
So there was 2 cops. There's 2.
So you're not going to count the female cop at all?
I am not.
So because she walked away after he got up, you're going to say she didn't have any part in it?
No, even if she followed him, still 2 cops. Because she's a female cop. You can go and look at countless police videos of when there's conflict. Female cops never get involved in the conflict. They don't. Anytime there's a shooting, the female cops run. So there was only 2 cops. Just that
I
simple.
mean, Chris is kind of trying to say it's 2.5. I mean, I kind of see it that way. Like, a female cop's not as strong as a male cop, but she does contribute something.
Regardless, 2.5 or 2 cops is still not 3 cops. And Firestarter is lame. Is a lame. Just try to come in here with some white devil crap. And, but yeah. I feel this is going to be a justified kill. I think it's going to be a justified kill. The only reason that they'll get arrested is if it's a political arrest, not because it's based in the law.
I mean, I definitely feel like it was justified. I just feel like they didn't do as much as they could have.
But why should they?
Why should they not try to explore non-lethal options?
They did.
Okay, so they tried the tasing, and then they hoped that was enough, and then after that, they went to lethal force. I mean, I just don't see why they didn't hold him down.
Like, this this is what people don't get. Like, you guys want cops to go over and above, and like far over and above than you would give anyone else. And the only difference is these cops actually are in their job's dangerous. So if they make a mistake, because you can get shot or stabbed in a split second, it's not like a poor decision can kill you in these situations. No one else is gonna make this, like, no one else is gonna make the same standard. The only time that you see the standard is when you see robbers go into a store with a gun to rob the store, and the store owner shoots them, and the family member says, "Oh, he was just trying to get clothes for school, or he was just, trying to feed his kids. You shouldn't have shot him." Like, it's only the people that want to have sympathy for the behavior that say that the person shouldn't have shot him. I know damn well if someone broke in your house, you're not going to exhaust all non-lethal force. You're going to use deadly force. Like, that's what you're going to do. You're not going to try to do a single pinky toe crimp of death to wrestle the gun from him. You're not going to do the pressure point of the hand to lock him down till the police get there. Like, you're going to shoot the person. You're going to make sure they don't kill you.
That's two different situations.
It's not.
Hold on, let me explain why. You're trying to equate me being at home alone and somebody breaking in the house and they're standing up to, okay, you say 2 cops. Let's say 2 cops and the guy's on the ground, and like the other guy said, you can grab his legs. Cops are trained in all types of ways to subdue somebody. And me, I am not trained at all. And I am a higher chance of death than a cop because he has learned how to subdue him.
Cops have a way higher death rate. Cops are more likely to get killed by a black man than a black man's to get killed by a cop. That's a fact.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying comparing a cop to a criminal to a black man to a cop. I'm saying in a deadly situation, I would say the cop has a higher chance of survival because he is trained to subdue people compared to a person who has no training and is just acting on instinct.
Hold on 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
See, if you wanted to make a point that, like, when he was as soon as he walked away from them and they shot him, then yeah, I would make that. I would give you that was unjustified.
No, I'm not saying it was unjustified. I'm saying when the stuff he did was he was acting the fool, and I understand that why they shot him. The point I'm saying is when he was on the ground, why would you let him get up? That's the only thing I'm confused about. Why would they let him get up?
Well, you gotta remember, there's only 2 of them. The same reason that those 2 cops got their ass beat by Ray Shard. Not every person is good at combat. Not every person like that's not how combat works. Like, there could be any amount of reasons. There could have been, like, if you look, when he walked off, There was a woman right there. When they shot him, there was a woman standing there. There could have easily been something that was distracting them. They could have been distracted by the female police officer. Like, maybe they didn't think it was going to escalate. They got caught off guard. Like, there's multiple factors that could go to a point. Yeah, the perp has adrenaline. Like, there's multiple things that could make it to where a cop could not have the upper hand in the situation. But the fact of the matter is, they didn't. They didn't have the upper hand. And dude was able to get to the car. And they waited until he got into the car after they kept yelling at him not to get in the car, to comply, to stop. They already had guns out. Like, when they have a gun out, what do you think they're gonna do?
They can shoot to disable him.
But you can't. It's illegal. If you break in my house, all right? If you break in my house and I shoot you in your knee, you can sue me for improper use of a firearm and I can be arrested. Do you know why?
Wait, so you're saying somebody breaks in and you shoot them, but you don't kill them? You can get arrested?
No, if you intentionally shoot them, not to kill them. So so you said you could have injured him. So that would mean like shooting him what, in the legs? Like shooting him in the leg?
No,
because if you
I heard you shoot them in the leg, that's gonna, because of the veins, they'll die. I'm talking about in the body.
That's if you hit the artery in the leg.
Yeah.
Which is by the crotch. If I shoot you in your foot, it's probably going to disable you. But if I shoot you in your foot, or the cop deliberately shoots you in the foot, you are going to get arrested. Malicious wounding is a crime, and it's called improper use of a firearm. Because in order for you to have the ability to use deadly force, you have to be in fear of your life, which means that you are afraid that if you do not fire and kill the person, that they are going to kill you. So when you use deadly force, you have to shoot to kill them. You can't shoot to maim. You have to kill them. That's what your objective is to do. So you have to shoot for head or center mass. You can't shoot them and not try to kill them. That's why when cops shoot to kill, that's what they're doing. Like, once they get to a point of where they have to use deadly force, they are no longer negotiating. They're trying to kill you. Because by the law, like, if they shot him in the foot, they would then not be covered underneath their immunity. Because they would be breaking the law.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you don't want to get shot, don't resist the police. If he stopped at the side of the car and didn't resist, if he stopped in the front of the car and didn't resist, if he stopped before he opened the car door, he wouldn't have been shot. He had multiple opportunities after already resisting arrest to not be shot. Why is it on the cops that after they already gave him all of these things, he decided that I'm not going to take those opportunities, and now we're going to scrutinize the cops as them doing something wrong?
Yeah, that's not what I'm arguing. I'm saying, I already said it. Once he got up and he's ignoring, I understand what the cops are doing. But I'm just, like I've been saying, when he was on the ground and they let him get up, like they pointed his gun at him and they told him to stay down, and he got up. So I guess it depends on the situation, because some people would stay down. Some people would stay down, or some cops would have went to the ground and handcuffed him there. And I think that's what they did to George Floyd. They handcuffed him when he was on the ground.
Ash, come on. So, but again, you're making the argument that the cops need to be fucking Superman.
That's not Superman.
I think you're acting like they're freaking weak. Once a guy's on the ground, it's not that hard to keep him down with two people.
That's not true. Like, that's not true. You watch MMA, you watch professionals fight, and you see guys go to the ground and then win the fight. If you ever wrestled, you see guys be taken to the ground or be in ref's position, and the guy winning the match, even though he was in the weaker position. You see boxers that are losing, and you see them sleeping on their feet, and then they knock out the guy. Like, when it comes to combat, just because you have an advantage does not mean that you're going to win.
I'm not talking about one-on-one situations. And this is what I'm trying to point out. Even people who know jiu-jitsu, they tell you if you're against multiple opponents, do not take them to the ground because more than likely you will lose. So even somebody who is really trained, they will not go to the ground because multiple people standing up. Even you take one person to the ground, but one other person is standing up and stomping you out, you will lose. So I'm saying a civilian who more than likely is not trained in jiu-jitsu versus two cops who are trained in the ability to subdue people, they should have been able to take him down. I mean, not take him down, but keep him down and subdue him.
Listen, man, like, this was to understand. Cops don't, like, being part of a cop, being able to do hand-to-hand combat really isn't a thing that cops are trained on. Like, cops aren't trained from the academy in, like, a crazy amount of technique. Most of the time when you see police officers that are accurate in shooting, it's because they spend their own money to go to the shooting range, and they practice on their dime. If you want the cops to be better, then you have to give the cops more money. You have to give them the ability to do these things. The problem that is happening is a lot of people want the cops to do the most with the least, and you want the cops to do the most in the worst circumstances. Like, there is absolute, like, I don't feel bad. Like, I don't feel bad that this guy got shot.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I mean, I'm saying that it was his fault for getting shot.
yes, it was his fault, but if it's his fault for being shot, then why is there any sort of discussion about what the cops could have, should have, or would have done? Like, that's just crazy. That's crazy.
I'm saying everything after when he got up, like, that was the guy being stupid. I'm saying, well, my main point I keep trying to say is, how is the only person able to keep a person on the ground Superman?
Because
like two people.
But what this what you understand, not every single person has the same strength. Not every single person has the same fortitude. Not every single person is matched evenly. So you don't know if these cops could have had a health condition. This guy could have been on drugs. He could have. You don't know. He could have just got out of prison and been doing all sorts of working out in prison, and he's super strong. You don't know if he had adrenaline running through him. Like, there are too many things to say they should have been able to, because that's just not how conflict works. There are plenty of variables that change the outcome of a situation. So I'm not going to say the cop should have been able to, because if they could have, they would have. They didn't want to shoot. But everything's an assumption. Everything's an assumption. You're assuming they should have been able to hold him down. But they didn't.
No, you're assuming that just because they didn't do it, that means that you're unable to. You're bringing in all these extremes, like he was on drugs and they're super weak.
No, but what I'm saying, I'm not saying he was on drugs, but what I'm saying is him being on drugs could make him stronger where they couldn't hold him on the ground. The fact that he doesn't want to go to jail and that's why he's resisting would make him really not want to go to prison, and he would have an adrenaline boost. They say the man with nothing to lose is the most dangerous man, correct? You ever hear that saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so clearly he didn't want to go to jail because if he did, he would have complied, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So we can probably assume that he wanted to not go to jail more than they wanted to tackle him or shoot him, correct? We can make that, that's fair?
Yeah.
You have to understand, this is their job. These people don't want to do this bullshit. They don't. And especially with the shit going on with the media where these cops are demonized no matter what goes on. They probably really didn't want to even deal with the bullshit. And they really didn't want to be fighting and wrestling with the black guy.
Okay, and that's what happened. That's what I'm trying to say.
But it doesn't matter. Then none of that matters. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if they didn't want to fight him. It doesn't matter if they overpowered him. It doesn't matter if they didn't take him to the ground. The fact of the matter is he didn't comply. They gave him ample time to comply, and then when he got in the car, they shot him.
No, I'm saying you keep bringing that up. I'm saying I agree with you on that. The only part I was told about was on the ground, and I'm saying before you were saying they were unable, and now you're saying they probably didn't want to because of whatever situations, and that I will agree with.
Yeah, but this is what you have to understand. If you've ever heard, oh, that's awesome. My comment got rejected for saying someone's name. But what I'm saying is, have you ever heard it's not about the size of the dog, it's about the fight it's about the size of the fight in the dog?
No.
Okay, so long story short, your size does not matter. It's about how much heart you have. It's about how determined you are.
Okay.
I guarantee you that guy really didn't want to go to jail. I guarantee that he had a way more heart about not going to jail than those cops did about arresting him. They had to do it because it's their job and they were there. They couldn't just let him go.
Yeah, so I'm agreeing with you on. I'm saying they didn't want to.
Yeah, so but even if they did want to, the cops having to be able to do all this extra shit. Like, I'm telling you right now, if I was that cop, I would have dumped the whole magazine. I had dumped the whole thing. I'd have shot, as soon as you opened the door, I'd have shot the whole motherfucking magazine in the dude.
Okay, yeah. So we agree. Cause I'm saying they could have, but now you're saying they didn't want to because they didn't want to endanger their health for a stranger.
No, but what I'm saying is, that could be a reason why they weren't able to keep him to the ground or get him to the ground or any of these things. There are, like I've been saying the whole time, there are multiple reasons why two people might not be able to hold someone to the ground. Just like if you look at Ray Shard, he beat the shit out of two cops and got one of their tasers, and he was drunk. He really didn't want to go back to prison.
Wait, hold on. You keep bringing up Ray Shard. Is Ray Shard the guy from Wendy's?
Correct.
Okay. Isn't that situation different because he was standing up?
Regardless, he went to the ground with the cops. But the point that I'm making, even if just because you're down does not mean that you can't get back up. It doesn't mean that. But that's an exact point, a point that we can look at where there were two people. There was two people and two cops and one guy, and that one guy beat the shit out of those two cops. But
why
and
are
got
you ignoring the fact that he was up? I think that's two different situations. one person standing up and one person on the ground in a vulnerable situation. That's two different scenarios.
Yeah, they were standing up. They went to handcuff him. He grabbed the cop and slammed that cop on his head, and then he fought the other cop.
Wait, Rashard Brooks? He was on the ground and he grabbed the cops?
No.
Oh,
They
okay.
They tried to arrest him. So the one cop was behind him, and they were putting his hands in handcuffs, and he pulled away and grabbed the cop. So he caught them by surprise and was able to eliminate one cop by fucking power bombing him on his head. Then he beat the fuck out of the other cop.
Okay, most of the stuff you said, that's stuff you can't do on the ground. You can't power bomb somebody. You can't generate nearly as much force on the ground as you can when you're standing up.
So, question. So when they rolled up on this guy, was he sitting down? Was he laying on his back when they rolled up on him?
You talking about Rashard Brooks?
No, I'm talking about Jacob. When they rolled up on him, was he laying down?
I don't know. The video just shows him like he's on the ground.
Yeah, we could assume that he probably was staying up too at some point. They all probably were staying up at some point, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't arrest him, correct?
No.
Okay, so like it's not that far off.
What are you talking about? I'm saying if he was, this is what I'm trying to say. If they were standing up and they felt in danger, okay, I can agree with you there. But if a guy's sitting down, he's on the ground on his back, and then you let him up, then I'm saying you're not trying hard enough. And then you said they did not have as much heart, and that's where I'm agreeing with you.
Yes,
They were not
but again,
trying to subdue him.
but regardless if they did or not, what I'm saying is they could have had just as much heart, but he's better at fighting than them. He could have, there are multiple factors that you cannot put down to exactly why that they couldn't get him to the ground and keep him there, but they were not able to. That's all that matters. When you make an argument, like Crime made the argument, there was 3 cops. It was easy for 3 cops to overpower one guy, but they couldn't. They didn't. And there are reasons
they couldn't, but they didn't even try. They pointed the gun at him and he got up. That's what I'm saying. They didn't try to keep him on the ground. It wasn't that they couldn't. They didn't.
What's it matter?
What do you mean?
What's it matter?
What's the matter with what?
What's it matter if they didn't try?
I'm saying they could have and they didn't. That's my problem. I mean, look, I get that you point the gun at him and some people will stay down and that's safer for you. And that's what I'm saying. I was agreeing with you when you said they were not concerned about putting their life on the line for their job.
They already put their life in line. They rolled up on a guy that's known to be violent and carry a gun, and they were arresting him. They're already in danger, right?
Uh-huh.
So what else is there for them to do?
So you're saying this. So basically, you just said as soon as they get there, they're in danger. So now they have the right to use any type of legal force just for pulling up.
No, that's not what I said. You said they didn't want to put themselves in danger with wrestling them. They were already in danger
By
when they were
going
there. Correct.
And you just said that justified the legal force. I mean, the lethal force.
No, I didn't say that.
So, okay, so what? All right, so what are you trying to say with that?
What you said was, I'll repeat it. You said they didn't want to put themselves in danger with the keeping them on the ground, correct? That's what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Were they not in danger before this when they showed up? Was it not dangerous for them?
Yes.
Okay, that's it. That's all I said. I didn't say
Oh,
anything about he was in danger. They were in danger showing up so they could shoot him. I didn't say that. That's not what I said.
So you just said that to say that they were endangered?
What I'm saying is they're already in danger doing the job. That's why in the projects where he lived. Do you live there? Do you live in the projects?
No, but I'm saying, what was the point of saying that? Like, yeah,
The point.
I get that they were in danger, but I'm saying, what was the point of bringing that up?
But that was the point. Because they were, regardless if they got on the ground with this dude, when you notice there was people all over the street. So also, wrestling somebody on the ground or fighting with someone on the ground is still dangerous when you saw the people in the street. There were multiple people. There have been plenty of times cops get ambushed from arrests. Like, there's multiple things that play into what they're doing. There's been over 900 cops that have been hurt since the beginning of these riots. There's been multiple cops that have been killed in the last 3 months. So, I'm not going to get mad if there's a bunch of people, because if you ever go to the projects, there's always motherfuckers standing outside. There's a fucking gang of people outside at the projects all the time. We can both acknowledge that we can both say that cops aren't very well liked these last few months, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to put all my focus on a guy trying to keep him on the ground when I have multiple people around me and I'm in a bad neighborhood that majority doesn't like cops. Like, again, it comes down to I want to go home. That's it. I want to go home. I don't really want to shoot nobody. I really don't want to arrest nobody, but I have a job I have to do and I want to go home.
Okay. So we're agreeing there. We're agreeing that they did not want to do that.
Yeah, so then what is the issue? Like,
I've been saying for like 10 minutes. We agreed, but you kind of kept trying to argue with me.
So you agree that he should have complied. You agree that his shooting was justified, and that nothing should happen to these cops.
I agree with the first two things, but what'd you say about the third? What was the third thing?
Nothing should happen to these cops.
That they shouldn't be arrested?
Correct.
Yeah, I said that from the beginning. It was justified.
Sweet. So we agree. Awesome.
Yep. All right, but yeah, good talk. But I'm gonna head out. One thing I want to congratulate. I was looking at the sub count, man. You jumped up. I'm like, how long you been on? 3 months?
3 months.
Yeah. When I subscribed, you had about 80 subscribers, and you got 450.
Yeah. I've been out here. I've been over here grinding, man. I've been over here grinding. You know, trying to get this YouTube thing going, trying to get these subs up, trying to get a lot of content. Like I have plenty of videos up here. I just released a video so everyone that's on the stream knows. I've gotten flagged. I got a privacy flagged, and I also got a harmful breaking policy warning. So I'm going to be putting racier content on Patreon, and I'm trying to get a website going to where I can put racier content onto that. And anyone that's a graphic designer or a web developer, email me at Savage Red Recovery. And if you'd like to help with the Patreon, you can go and subscribe. And if you guys would like to help with the website, you guys can donate to my PayPal or donate to my Cash App. But I've been looking at prices for getting a website and getting logo made and that shit. It's like $600 to do. So it's gonna take me a little bit for me to do it on my own. But I won't be able to do like the racy content that I would like to do on YouTube because I only have 450 subscribers and I'm already getting flagged and I'm already getting hit. My channel is already getting hit and I'm not a big channel. So to make the longevity of this channel last, I have to do more PG stuff here, and I have to do racier, spicier content other places. So anyone that wants to see that racier, spicier content, I will only be able to do it off here.
Mm-hmm.
Trey.
Also,
Woman's not God. I'm just saying.
also, one live stream discussion I wanted to give you. Maybe I'm interested in seeing the difference between how cops act in the public and how military act in like other countries. So I don't know if you ever want to do a live stream like that. But
We can. I'd have to do some research.
yeah. All right, but thanks for having me on. I'm gonna head out.
So Slave Right, it's all good. Thank you for me being your favorite streamer. I'm just a racist white guy. Because that's what the comments keep telling me is I'm a racist. I'm a white devil. But yeah, I appreciate being your favorite streamer. I'm just trying to put out content that people enjoy and to grow and not get struck down by the YouTube lords. But as always, guys, I'm about to go see. I have a friend over. I also have to go see my daughter here in a little bit, so I'm going to get off here.
No.
I don't say "oh God" to no chick. Thank you.
No.
Thank you, Vanny. As of right now, I do have a Patreon. If you guys want to subscribe to get some of the pedo information and some Q stuff and some racier content, go ahead and subscribe there. My link is down in the description box. Also, if you guys want to stop, Trey. If you guys would like to help donate for the website, I'm able to live stream from Patreon, so I don't know if I'll be able to live stream directly from the website, so I have to figure that out. That might cost more money to be able to do, or I might have to. I don't know how that would work. Like, I haven't really sat down with a web designer yet to figure out how that would work. But if you guys want to donate so that you guys can always find me, even if my channel does get struck down or Patreon decides to get rid of me, you can hit my PayPal or my Cash App. They're both in the description. The Cash App's on the ticker. But as always, guys, thank you guys for the support. I appreciate all of you. Stay savage.